Hey everyone, it's Ivan, KidPatch.com, out here for another gear review, and today, talking water bottles. This guy right here, which is the 700 milliliter titanium water bottle by Keith Titanium. So it is a titanium water bottle that holds 700 milliliters, made by Keith Titanium, the end. Just kidding. It's actually some kind of cool stuff going on here. I will say, with respect to Keith Titanium, they make some incredible products. I actually reviewed their titanium canteen mess kit previously, like a while back. Still use it, works great. And I was looking at water bottles. Water bottles are one of those things where, especially if you're active, well, even if you're not, you pretty much need to drink water. And ideally, you're not just using consumable, like one-use plastic bottles and getting tons of microplastics in your body, which apparently everyone has now. So ideally move away from that. So this is actually made of like incredibly high-grade titanium, no odor, no taste, anything like that. And you're also not getting plastics, bonus. And it holds 700 milliliters, which is 23.6 ounces, come to find out. Honestly, it's pretty good amount of water in that, depending on how far I'm hiking, I'll just bring this. If I need more, obviously have a water bladder or some other water bottle, but it's enough to where it's not 500 milliliters, which is, honestly, I probably wouldn't go less than this as far as a water bottle, personally. Things I actually really like about this is actually the size. Dimensionally, way smaller than an Nalgene, which I've used a ton in the past, and they're great, but pretty much nothing fits an Nalgene as far as whether it's a cup holder in a car or even backpacks. Lots of times the like water bottle pocket, not really set up for an Nalgene. And even if it is, this will fit in it, and it'll fit even better generally because there's usually like elastic closure. But yeah, I've actually put in a lot of time with this water bottle. Aside from just around town, obviously taking it backpacking, and it's actually a nice size for travel in that, again, dimensionally it'll fit in pretty much any backpack, and it's easy to carry through airports and stuff like that, which is why I actually took this recently this last summer rather, to Finland. Like, easy to take as a carry-on, not obnoxiously large, empty it, go through security, fill it back up, no issues. As far as things I do appreciate about it is it kind of cuts both ways. This is single wall. It is not insulated. And so with that, if you pour something really hot in here, it will be really hot, transfer through there. Or if it's something really cold, it'll be really cold to the touch. As far as the lid, there's this like food grade silicone, essentially a ring, or like an O-ring essentially, so that when you screw it on, it won't leak. Pretty important for a water bottle. And then also on top here, you have this little tab. You can clip this. I would not clip it to a pack. You could obviously, or I guess you could make a lanyard so you don't lose it. Not really sure why that's there, but it's an option. I think probably the most viable thing where I would use that, depending if I ended up using it like that, would be to where I could just crack that and hang this if need be over a fire. But even then, honestly, I would probably just shove this thing in the coals after I crack the lid. Why do I bring that up? One of the things I like about this being single walled, you can boil water in it. Do I want to boil water in this? Absolutely not. One, I'll mess up all of my sweet stickers on it. And two, I have other things to boil water in. But as a redundancy and a backup, if I end up out on a hike without some pot, something along those lines, and I have to be somewhere longer than I would like, and I need to purify water, you can absolutely do it in this because it is single walled. You just crack that so steam escapes, and you can go ahead, boil and purify water, which is pretty important. I wasn't sure how I was going to like this as a single-walled water bottle. Turns out I like it a lot, ironically, because of this, which it comes with. And it's basically this Nalgene sleeve that it fits into. And once it's in there, put it in all the way, and it zips up. I'm torn. Water bottles are a great place to just have cool stickers, because if you have cool stickers, you want to put them on something, usually something that you use and that you see. Water bottle, fitting the bill. But then I put this thing on there, I'm like, I can't see my stickers, but I keep using this thing because it's actually really nice, this Nalgene sleeve. One, there are these belt loops on here, which never used it. You can go ahead and put it on your belt if you don't have another way of carrying this, I guess. I will usually shove it in my pack when I'm backpacking, or same with if I'm used as a carry-on backpack, I'll slide this in like a little water bottle pocket. Or if I don't need access, honestly, I'll just put it inside. But if you want to, you can totally just put it on your belt. But what I've found that I do really like about this is, one, no matter if it's cold or if it's hot, as far as the liquid inside, it's always pleasant to the touch. You're not going to burn yourself or freeze your hand if you have like ice water and some ice cubes or something like that in here. And yeah, I actually just really like it. And if for whatever reason I don't need it, I can just take it off. Something else worth mentioning too is with this titanium single walled, stuff's great, really easy to clean out. To include, you can throw it all in the dishwasher too. Probably not that. I don't know. You probably throw it in the washing machine. I don't think I've ever washed it. But yeah, pretty cool. Something to be aware of with single walled, especially metal, to include titanium. Water bottles I have a tiny little dent there, but you can actually dent these and you will reduce your internal volume a tiny bit. But no, with use, they can absolutely get banged up. This thing's done pretty good. In part, lots of times it lives in here, so keeps it from getting too banged up. Price-wise, I want to say you can get them on Amazon, usually around 70 bucks. Man, is that expensive for a water bottle? It is when you can just go buy a plastic water bottle like Avian water and then just fill it up over and over again, and just some microplastics for the life of that bottle. Yeah, totally expensive compared to that. But you could also buy this and literally have it for the rest of your life, unless, I don't know, somehow you lost it. So I think there's value there. If this is something you actually want and you are going to use and make part of your lifestyle. As I mentioned, the whole part, again, cuts both ways as far as not insulated. I've actually grown to really like, because it is in fact insulated with this cover that I can take on and off. And something that is important for me is, it's not warm out right now. I think it's maybe 36 degrees. Last night I looked and it was, I think the low it got down to was 24 degrees. This didn't freeze. Granted, it was inside here. But when you start doing things in the mountains, it actually gets really important to have something insulated. Whether the water bottle itself is insulated, like a double-walled insulated water bottle, or some sort of insulation. By way of example, sometimes if I have an Nalgene bottle, I actually have I think Outdoor Research makes it. It's basically an insulated koozie that like zips closed. Because if you spend time out of doors below freezing, your water bottles absolutely will freeze, especially if they're on your pack somewhere. And this actually made it through the night, not frozen. Conversely, we had, I think, like a water bladder that stayed out overnight, absolutely frozen. And my buddy's Nalgene definitely had a bunch of ice in it. Not super fun first thing in the morning when you need to start rehydrating, but this thing did well. Keith Titanium has been in the game for a long time, making a lot of really good titanium products. And if you're looking for a solid water bottle that will last you pretty much forever or until you lose it, I would check one out. I understand, definitely like not cheap. Like, it's expensive, but it's not expensive if you haven't used this thing daily for years. If you think about it that way. But there'll be a link down below if you'd like to go check it out. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.